Hello and welcome everybody to this series of video about Sass. My name is Americo Perez and I will show you how to work with Sass. I will show you the basis of Sass so you have an understanding about what you can do and what Sass is. In this series of video, I think it's a good start if we start with an introduction of Sass. Um, because Sass is built in Ruby for Windows user, I will show you how to install Ruby and Node.js. For Mac user, Ruby is already installed. So there is no need to download or install Ruby. But Node.js is necessary in Mac computer also. Then I think it's good to show you how to build a workflow using gulp. If you don't know what a workflow is, it is a series of tasks that the computer will execute automatically based in some change in your code that make possible to compile Sass code automatically every time you save a file or reload the browser when you make any change in the HTML or in your Sass file. Next part is start working with Sass. We will begin with variables and partials. Next will be Mixins, which is a very useful technique we can use with Sass. Then we will take a look to control directives and expressions. So what is Sass? It is a preprocessor language. That means that every time you want to check just changes in the browser, you need to compile the Sass file first, because the browser doesn't understand Sass. So you need to compile it to normal CSS. It's written on Ruby, and that means that you need to use or you need to have Ruby installed in your computer. As I say, Mac user already have Ruby, but Windows user need to install it, and I will show you how you can do that. So first, what are variables? Let's say you have a color, in this case this red color, FF and 4 zeros, and Sass allows you to save this color in a variable, in this case BG color. All variables start with this dollar sign. Once you have these values saved in a variable, you can use it in your statement in the Sass file. For instance, here a box will get a background color of red because the BG color is contained a red color. You can also create some modification to the color. For instance, here I am using darken BJ color 30. That means that this red will be a 30% darker than the original BG color. And this is very useful in case you are using a web color palette where you start from a main color and then make you degradation of this color. You can use darken 30% and 20%, and lighten 30%, which will make the color more lighter. And this is how variable works. You use the dollar sign, the name of the variable, and then the value you want to save. It can save maybe also some dimensions in pixel. It can save some fonts definitions, and which can be used throughout your Sass file. And this will, once you compile the file, this variable will be replaced by the color assigned to this variable. Another feature in Sass is the use of partials. Partial allows you to divide your Sass code in a bit of code. Every bit is saved in its own Sass file, and then when you want to use this file, you use the import with this arrow sign in front of the import name in import, and then between quotation you use the name of this file. You can have folders containing another Sass file, which can be imported too. You need just write the name of the folder and then after slash the name of the file. And you can extend Sass. That means that, for instance, I have this class, which is a button with 100 pixel width or 100 pixel height, with a background black in color white. Then if you want to create a second button, and the only you need to change is the background color and the color of the text, you can extend the main class. And you do that by using arroba extend, and then the name of the class, the parent class. You will, in this secondary button, you will get all the attributes of the main button, but the change you need to make is just the background color and the color of the text. That is very, I think it's a very good feature in Sass, because it saves me to write a lot of CSS code. I just need to use the extend, and I get all the same attribute that the original class has. Then you also have expression. You can use also mathematical operation. For instance, if I have a variable containing a size of a font, in this case 24 pixels, I can create a second variable by taking the first variable and then applying some mathematical operation. In this case, I'm saying that the smartphone will be 12 pixels smaller than the large font. I can use multiplication, division, or addition. Then I can use expression, in this case an if-else expression, which will allow me to create a specific style based in this if-else operation. All these features I will show you in code, in live code. So the idea here is just you get a very light or a very simple vision of how Sass is written, what can offer to us. The other feature is mixins, and mixins are like a function in JavaScript. All mixins start with this arroba and then mixin name, and then the name of the mixin itself. Here in this mixin called rounded, I will get some information from somewhere in my Sass file, and with this information I will create border radius attributes. The default equal 10 means that if I don't send some value, the standard value will be 10 pixels in this case. And this is how you can use it. For instance, I have a header element, and I beside the styling the border, I say to Sass that it will include my rounded mixin, and I am sending 20 pixels as the size of the rounded corner. So when Sass get the mixin rounded, the default equal 10 will be replaced by the 20 pixel, and I will get back a border radius 20 pixel. The good thing about this is that I have just to create this mixin once, and I can use it everywhere in the in my Sass code. So that is the most important part in Sass. But as I say at the beginning, Windows user needs to install Ruby first in order to get working with Sass. So that's what we're gonna do now. I will close this keynote and I will open a virtual machine which has Windows in it. I want to expand it a little. And this is a typical Windows machine. There is nothing in here, nothing special. I can open my command line and I can check if I have Ruby installed. Let's see, there is no Ruby installed. Otherwise, it will recognize the Ruby command. So that is our first task, install Ruby. To do that, go to the rubyinstall.org page and click in this download button. In here, in this last two versions, you have two flavors. One is for 64-bit operating system, and the other one is for 32. If you have a Windows version, a 32 version, download this one. Otherwise, download this other one. I have already downloaded, so I will run it, the installation process. So just click run, click on OK, accept the license, check the add Ruby executables to your path, and click on install. After a few seconds, Ruby will be installed in your machine. Just a little more, okay, finish, and then you can check it. If you have the command prompt open, close it. So the command prompt can read the new command from Ruby. So we take a look if it worked. Yes, it worked. He said that Ruby is already installed. Is installed. The next thing we need to do is install the Sass gem. Gem are packaged in Ruby. Ruby has a lot of packages, and one of them is Sass. And to install it is just run gem install Sass. And here I want to show you something. If I click enter and accept this one, I will get this error. It says that they cannot find the Sass gem. And it says also there is something strange with the certificate, and that is because we are trying to connect to an HTTPS server. I don't know why it's happened, but you can solve it by adding a new server to the Ruby installation. So I will paste. I hope I can paste. It seems I can't. So I will write it by hand. Gem source -a http slash it was rubygems.org. I think it's right. Gemsource /a http / rubygems.org and hit enter and answer yes. And now we have the new address added to the Ruby installation. Now I can run gem install Sass. Depending on your internet connection, this will take a little while. Now installing the documentation of Sass. And it is finished. If it say one gem installed, it's because it's finished. We can check by running Sass. I think it's v. Yeah, Sass v. The last one is 3.4.22. This is the last version. Now we have Ruby and Sass installed. So everything is okay and ready when it comes to Ruby. The other thing you need to install is Node.js, and you can find the installer in the nodejs.org homepage, and pick up this one, the 691 version, because it's the recommended version, only because that. I already downloaded, so I wanna run it. And this is just accept everything, nothing more special than that. And when it's finished, this Windows will be ready to work with us and with workflows. For Mac users, they already have Ruby in the computer, but they need to download the Node installer and run the installation. So we have both Ruby and Node in our computer. We can check the version. Is a 691, and Ruby and Node comes with an npm command that will we be using later in a little while. And that version is 3.10.8. As I said, this is all you have to do in the Windows machine. Install Ruby and install Node.js. Everything else is exactly the same. It doesn't matter if it's Windows or Mac. It's exactly the same. So then in the next video I will show you, we will begin with the building of our workflow, and for that we will be using gulp. So thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video where we will put our hand in the code and start building the workflow. I see you. Bye bye.